So, welcome everybody. This is our very first live episode. What do you think of that?
I'm super excited about it because then people will be like, who are these guys?
Who are these clowns, man? Who the hell are these clowns? Yeah. Well, how about we get the show on the road?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
This is Random Urban Memories, brought to you by the Rumboyz. You've seen, heard, or felt it on the streets. Well, we're here to talk about it.
In 3, 2, 1.
I assume
that you just heard our intro.
Yeah, because we got a new studio app, so we're just assuming that the 22 seconds of what we had of silence was actually the intro being played to you.
Thank God nobody farted, because then you'll be like, I got those 22 seconds to fart while nobody listens, and then suddenly there will be like just two big crack ones. And then people will be like,
that'll be really like,
God, it's like these guys.
What have you done? All right, so
cool.
It's good to have you back. We had a bit of a hiatus. We had a bit of a break. You were on holidays.
Which we needed.
I think we needed it. We needed it. How was your holiday?
Like, David, you were on holidays. Like, it's my fault. It's not my fault that I took holidays. No, but I was sick also. I was sick.
Yes, you were.
So it's like June and July was like, June I was sick. I didn't actually celebrate my birthday at all because my tonsillitis.
Yeah, you were really. We were actually gonna go out on your birthday or for your birthday.
Yeah,
but it ended up you were pretty.
Still go, but I don't know if I'm still friends with you, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll celebrate a fake birthday.
Night, I don't know, but no, definitely. I mean, we will go, and then it's just tonsillitis and flu came up. That was in Berlin for a week. Then came back. Did some stuff in work. And then went to Barcelona for a week. It was awesome. Finally, a bit of a sun.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of naked people at the beach.
Really?
50 plus. It wasn't like, when people say, like, I've seen naked people at the beach, they think it's, this is awesome, this is great. But if you go to Barcelona and you are like, everybody's like, like, it's kind of like a weird skin tone also.
Leather bag brown.
Yeah.
Like that 40 years of
orange brown. Like 40 years of going in samba, I think, for like every day. So I've seen a lot of that. Then I started to avoid that particular beach.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a nudist beach. It was like all sorts of people, like kids and everybody was there. But like naked people were there, apparently permitted also. So then we started to go to this beach, which was closer to the hotel, which was kind of local, and I liked it more. Yeah, so it was good. It was good to see that. We didn't do that many like museums. As we did, because we have been in Madrid like a year ago, and we have, I think, the things I felt like I've seen more than that. The only downfall that I would say, comparing Barcelona and Madrid, was like the public transport.
Really?
Which I thought it will be, like the metro will be a bit better.
Yeah.
I thought it will be better than Madrid, because, like all the Spanish people are like, like the richest region in Spain and stuff like that. I'm like, no. Really? Like,
really? That's different.
When you go from the airport to like the first main station that you have to go, everything seems to be new. So you're like, oh yeah, man, this is like, and they have like double doors, so like the door is opening from the station, but door also opening from the train.
Okay.
So you're like, oh yeah, well, obviously, like, they must be rich.
Yeah.
But then when you hit like the other stations, it's like there's like very little like air conditioning going on.
Yeah.
The is it escalators? Escalators are not going up only one way, and there is no other escalator going down or something. And now imagine me and my sister, like we both had like two big bags.
Yeah.
Of stuff with us, and then try to walk through all of the infrastructure through Barcelona with like two bags and another backpack on your. So. That was a bit like, I didn't like it that much. because of that. But otherwise, it's a really nice city. As I said before, because we talked about it before we went live, we didn't do the classic, like, oh yeah, let's go for paella and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
We just went for Chinese or, like, I don't know, tacos.
Yeah.
We got, like, I was buying stuff for people at work, but I was like drunk from like sangria already. I had like 2 liters of sangria. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is the right time to buy some stuff for my people. Then I went and I was like buying stuff, like like how you had like it's like a sign for a street, but there was like a Barcelona, and then it said the name of somebody.
Yeah.
But it was like the style of the sign.
Yeah.
But they didn't have any names of the people in my team, so I started to buy just random names,
random shit.
And it was like, I don't know, Ronan got Rodrigo, like one girl got Virginia and stuff like that. It's just like completely different name, and it was just they'll probably
made sense at the time. Made sense.
I almost bought a fake Lakers jersey from bootleggers and all of this. It's just fun, you just see that, and then they legalized weed, so like a week before we went there, so they were just giving out like all of these like business cards for coffee shops. Like,
really?
I smelled more weed in Barcelona than in Amsterdam.
Seriously?
I smelled more weed in Barcelona than in Amsterdam, which was like it was strange to me, because I when in Madrid, like, you see people smoking it, but in Barcelona it was like just everywhere. You were just lying on a beach, and like there was like a group of people smoking, and then people walking, like you just literally smell marijuana more than in Amsterdam. Wow. Which was weird. And then we tried this, and like if the people probably don't know about this drink that much, but it's called horchata. Mm-hmm. It's similar to almond milk.
Okay.
But it's made out of tiger nuts.
Yeah.
And it's a Spanish thing, and I think Catalonia and Valencia, and like I think it originates from Valencia. And they sell it in like horchaterias in these like shops, right? And I was like kept looking. I'm like, when we were buying like ice cream or something like that, I saw people drinking milk. And I'm like, why are these people drinking milk? On
a hot day.
I'm like, on a hot day, it must be like really cold drink. Or cold milk to kind of like cool them down. Yeah, I'm like, it must be like caramel milk or something.
Yeah.
And then I see the sign. It said horchata and like, I don't know, €2, whatever. And then I Google it, find out what it is, and then I Google like the most, like the one that is the best in Barcelona. We went there. It was like, if you know Neukölln in Berlin, that's the kind of place where we went.
Yeah.
And you literally had to take a number.
Yeah.
To get in. So like you take a number, it wasn't that many people, so I didn't notice there was a number to take off, like the like thingy. And I just went in, I just ordered 2. But it was like the best drink I ever had.
Really?
It's kind of like a milk it tastes like milkshake, but it like sweet almond milk.
Yeah.
Similar. But it's a very delicate like drink to be drinking, and it kind of like calms you down. Like if you have, I don't know, if you had like I think that they probably use it for like a stomachache or something, just to calm you down. Probably very good for hangovers also.
Is there alcohol in it?
No.
Oh, it isn't.
No, not at all. So I had like small one. The following day we went there, I bought the double XL one, and I was just sipping on it for like an hour. Really? But it's like, trust me, it's something that you would. It's very strange. It's not a strange flavor, but you don't taste that flavor every day. But it was really, it's really something that people just have to try when they go to Barcelona or any like place where they sell it. And I bought a bottled one. Bottled one was like shit. Like it tasted.
Yeah.
But this one was pretty okay. This one was pretty okay. And then, I was just.
Nice. You tried something new.
Pretty okay, yeah. But then we went to market. They had pretty okay stuff. But yeah, otherwise it was fine. Like we went to some parties. Parties were pretty okay. I didn't go to any of the clubs like Pasha or like these famous ones.
Really?
And like Bob Sinclair was playing. Bob Sinclair was playing the day after we left. So I'm like, if, like next time I'll probably do my research and just check all of these programs. But like I didn't know. Hang on, I need to because my belly.
We need to. we're doing some selfie taking right now, just so we have something to post.
Yeah, and so I missed Bob at that time, but otherwise it was pretty okay. Yeah, then you realize after a couple of days, like that you drink beer only to kind of like stop your thirst and stop you sweating. I was drinking beer in a way that I wasn't enjoying it for like a couple of minutes. I just downed pints.
Just because it was that hot.
I just came into a bar and I ordered a pint. I just downed it and then I moved to soft drinks or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, well this calmed me down. I'm fine now. So yeah, it was okay. But and then classic stuff. You get burnt all the time because I don't believe into sun cream, right? And like I'm white as yogurt when I come from Ireland, so I got burned the first day badly on my feet. So it was just like using any type of cream that I could find, any type of aloe gel, everything, So, but yeah, it was pretty okay. It's good to chill out a bit.
Well, it's nice though, but you had the good weather as well.
Yeah. It was
Sweet,
good. Yeah.
Sweet.
And what about you? What did you do?
Nothing. I had nothing
so
exciting.
I went through like 2 months of my life, and you're
didn't really do very much. I flew to and from Berlin once or twice or whatever to visit my dad, but that's about it. Those were very short stopovers, and then the rest was just working and chilling. Today I managed to. I know I had promised to. Post. No, I was supposed to be a couple of weeks ago to post an interview that I did with Kevin from Tech Showdown.
Yeah.
But he contacted me after I gave him a copy of the episode, and he wasn't too happy with his side of the audio. Mm-hmm. So what we did is we got together today. He's in New Zealand, and we re-recorded the interview. So we tightened it up a little bit and got all the bits done. So that's. Yeah. But he's a very chatty guy, and we ended up on Skype for 5 hours. The interview is only 44 minutes long. The actual interview is only 44 minutes long.
It's time difference.
Yeah, that's a delay. Yeah, exactly. It could have only been 10 minutes for him, and then all of a sudden. So that's what I've been doing today, but we're going to get those edited and out there as quickly as possible. I just have to record an intro for it, and then all good in the hood.
Cool.
But otherwise, I have no interesting things to tell you.
But so today...
Exactly. Talking about travel, right? And this brings us right into the first first point. And this is something that you had texted me and brought up.
Right after flying back from Berlin, actually.
Exactly. And oddly enough, for the first time in my life ever, I actually experienced something. And that is annoying people on airplanes.
Yeah.
But pretty much. Tell me what it is that you meant.
I'll set the scene, right? So, like, usually, and this is... And I think that this is a cultural thing, and like you only see it with like specific nations. And like I experienced it with Germans. I think I experienced it with Dutch and Irish also. And this it's usually like so you are flying, right? Everybody's chilling. You have 3 hours flight, so you have time. So you really have time to think whether you need to go within those, let's say the full flight is 3 hours, and the takeoff and the what is it?
The landing.
The landing takes in total 30 minutes. So you have 2.5 hours to think about whether you should go to the toilet or not. But most of these people have to go in those last freaking 20 minutes when the sign belt sign is on.
Yeah.
And then 20 people, or like not 20, but 5 people decide, oh, this is the right time because I'm sure that nobody else will go, so I will try to go to the freaking toilet.
Yeah.
And 99% of the time, it never actually happens that the stewardess would come over to the guy and say, did you see the side belt sign on? Go back to your seat and wait until we land.
Yeah.
It was the first time on the way from Berlin that this happened. That it wasn't a German crew. I think it was an Italian or Spanish crew on the plane for some reason, and it was a German guy. right? Again, setting the scene. Typical German. How does typical German guys see? Look, so he was bald, like bald, shaved head. Again, probably in the sun every day. Probably taking a lot of beta carotene because he was orange brown. Big ass glasses. Again, some kind of like baggy T-shirt, which looks like and then some chain and some like you just want to look like someone that you are driving a bike, but you've never really driven it, and then some hoodie or something like that. The moment the sign the sign goes on, he stands up and goes there, and goes to the front toilet, and the stewardess goes, "But you cannot go. Like the sign is on, and we are going to land." And he actually he discussed it with her for like a couple of seconds, and then he turns away, and like as he goes through the aisle, he's like talking to himself. And as this goes on, I just keep watching, and and I keep thinking about my hate towards these people for all those years. Mm-hmm. And I look at him like, oh, God, if it would be like one day that it would happen that the stewardess would actually tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
And it was that day. And I was just looking at him, and he saw me looking at him.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there, I'm like, looking at him, kind of like nodding, shaking my hand, giving him like that bad like grandma look. Look at you. Look at you, what you are doing. And so that was my satisfactory moment of the whole trip.
Yeah.
But then you just, and this is one of the things. You have like people moving, then people just like kids kicking your seat. Mm-hmm. Then I've seen like the pictures when they and this is usually from America.
Yeah.
Where somebody's sitting behind you and they take off their shoes.
Oh, and then appear in between the seats and shit.
Feet just appears next to you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what kind of person are you? Like seriously, like...
Do you know whom I don't have any respect for either? This goes for buses, most public transport, or airplanes, like Ryanair or whatever. Or any airplanes, really. Putting your seat back.
Yeah.
We all know...
But you know that there is somebody behind you.
We all know that this is physically not possible. Even though you might only put it down a centimeter. You're taking away my last 11 centimeters I have in front of me.
Yeah.
You're taking that away from me. And we all know it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's dumbasses. Crazy. Like, don't just you're just as uncomfortable as I am.
Crazy.
Don't put your fucking seat down.
Crazy.
Don't be an asshole. No. You should be able to slap them in the head.
But what I...
just like...
Sidekick.
Yeah, literally.
But what I've noticed also in Barcelona with the metro is that people don't wait until you get out. Until people just jump right in.
Yeah.
So there's no like, okay, so I don't know, in Berlin you can see these people
out
get
first,
out
in,
and then you go out. You go in. And this
order.
Is normal around all of the metros that I've experienced. Not in Barcelona. People just start to literally push themselves. And now imagine me, a big guy with 2 freaking suitcases, right?
Yeah.
And people try to push me. So I just go like a bulldozer. I don't give a shit. So I just started to push them. I'm like, man, if you can just respect the time that it takes for me to get out, then I'm not going to respect you. Just and nobody's rushing them. There are no people at the station who would be like, oh yeah, we are late, like the train is late, so start to go quicker or something like that. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I need to get in.
It's just kind of like piss off, man.
Crazy shit.
Well, look, I had an incident where I was really quite surprised that this would actually happen to me. And that was the very first time. The first time that happened was the second last time that I was in Berlin, and because we went with a bunch of guys, we had 2 beers at the airport.
Yeah,
and that went through me. Even though I went before we checked in, before we actually went to the gate, I went. And it was like early in the morning as well, so I think the metabolism was still kicking off because we just arrived at the airport at like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning. You know that flight. So yeah, it was all fine. I had no urge to go and pee. Went in, sat down, whatever. Boom, light went off. I was like, fine. But then I thought, I had 2 beers. And only then did I need to go pee because I remembered that I had 2 beers and I processed them very quickly. So then I just had the urge and I was like, it'll be fine. Takeoff takes 15 minutes, climbing 10, 12 or 20 minutes maximum, and then the light goes on and off. Seatbelt sign off, and then off we go, you know. But then it took ages of the airplane just standing there, of course. And of course, when you need to pee, everything becomes so much more dramatic. And then the pilot says we missed our cue or our takeoff slot because of a delay of the airplane coming over first, so they had to take the next takeoff slot. So that took another 11, 12 minutes or whatever, and I'm aware of every second. And this urge is getting worse and worse because I've actually got pain now, and I turned around to Fiona and I was like, I can't handle this. Do I go now before it starts getting a bigger scene or what? So then the pilot then announces that they're taking off from the back runway, which I didn't know Dublin had. But of course, on this day, I discovered that Dublin had an extra runway, which was so fucking far away. You won't even believe it was. It was. Oh, it was like we went for a drive with the airplane. It took forever. Oh, and then they stood, and like I said, everything is more dramatic when you really need to go. And I turned around to Fiona, like we're just about to take off. You can hear the engine spooling up, and I turned around to Fiona. I was like, I don't care. I will risk getting arrested. I will be the one person who turns his plane around and get escorted off by the cops, or have to maybe fight somebody to go to the toilet, or and people have to restrain me like in every American Airlines flight. You know, that's kind of Fight Club.
Fiona, prepare your phone, start to take video.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna sue these guys.
I was like, I was ready to unbuckle my seatbelt and charge down and go to the toilet. And then I was working out scenarios. I was like, what do I do? Do I tell them like, you don't understand how badly I need to go? I'm sure they've heard it a million times. And what happens then if I move too much? And then, what if I go all of a sudden? It was that close. So finally it was fine in the end. But I never thought that I could be one of those. I was willing to prevent that plane from
I'll tell you
off.
one tip. What you have to do is every time there is a possibility for this, always have your Nestea bottle with you, because it has it's kind of wide, anytime that pops up, just make sure that you have the bottle with you. You drink it before that, and then it will be quicker.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just
I know
it's like there's so many things. Like I don't know. Like I don't mind flying. I kind of got over the anxiety that I had for a couple of years.
Yep.
But now I just don't like the freaking those are details that you don't like in public transport and like transport in general. That you just like literally like when you see something like that happening in the plane, you are like, come on, man, just
be real.
Just hold your child, or just I don't know. Order him a gin and tonic or something. Just calm him down or something.
Yeah.
And there was... Oh, yeah. One thing that I've noticed, because we were flying on Monday morning. It was a super easy way how to get through the airport in Dublin. I think that it was because it was Monday and it was morning, early morning. It literally took me... If it took me more than 5 minutes to do the check-in, and go through the control, then I think it was like less than 5 minutes. I think it was definitely less than 5 minutes with the whole thing. And usually it takes you just the control, just
40 minutes or something.
Security
like that,
just takes you 15 minutes if on average. This I just checked. I checked in because you have the self check-in. I went through the whole hall. There was nobody at the airport, literally a couple of people. You go through, you do the security check, boom, 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 and it was like literally 5 minutes, and then we were just walking around, just
really
because I was actually flying by myself too.
Yeah.
Then I was doing breakfast already.
All right.
It was super fast. So anybody flying anywhere, just go on Monday mornings. Yes.
keep it nice and easy.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. Take the Monday mornings because the airport organization is much better there. Yeah, and then what else? So the second topic was, and again, this is me just having my tonsillitis and flu, and having nothing to do the whole week. I had nothing to do for a week.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can imagine, like, I was watching, like, all of these movies. I was watching, like, series that I didn't watch for, like, years.
Yeah.
And then you are just on your phone all the time. I probably went through Tinder and Bumble probably twice through the whole, like, catalog of people who were there. But I didn't have that many matches. But anyway, the other thing was that, you know, you are going through it, like, you are checking Instagram, and, like, that was the time when people started to go for a vacation. And then all you see is, like, all of these, like, Instagram models, wannabe models, just posting the pictures of them, like, the pictures is taken behind them, right? And they're kind of like, it's kind of like a pose, and then they are usually, like, they are not wearing a bra, but they have one distinctive mark on them, right? And that's a hand mark on on one of the cheeks of their ass. And I'm like,
what's the point?
Like, sand just doesn't stick on your ass usually. So somebody, like, they must be taking the effort of taking, I don't know, like a sun cream or something. Somebody puts it on their hand, slaps it on, and then starts to kind of like put the sand up on their ass just so it sticks, just so there is like a hand sand mark on it. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but like when you see it like with flour.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know, in the kitchen or something, like I do get it, because flour sticks.
Yeah.
But sand doesn't usually stick on people's asses for no reason.
Not in the shape of a hand.
No, definitely not. So they probably make the effort of taking the sun cream. Somebody slapping that ass and just starts to kind of like move the sand on the top of their. It's just, I don't know, like the logic and the physics of the whole thing just don't make sense. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, these people have, like, they literally make money from all of these posts, right?
Well, each and every one of those posts, they make an insane amount of money.
They have like millions of followers.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there in my lying in the bed, thinking about, like, maybe rumboyz should try to post all of this also, so we will get like a bigger fan base or something like that.
Look, if that's what gets us money, if that's what gets it, we'll go to the beach and get handprints on our asses. That's no problem at all. Just need to learn how to use Instagram.
I definitely won't be wearing a bra in those also. So, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird stuff, you know, that is happening on Instagram all the time.
I don't know, but it's amazing what makes money. It is amazing what we have gone from an internet age, say 98 and upwards, and look how rapid the evolution has come.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like you said, like 5 years ago even, this would have been unheard of, this amount of money. Okay, maybe 7 years, but this is a very rapid evolution. We've gone from MSNing each other, and Skype came around or whatever, then Facebook came around, and now all of a sudden, in such an intense short period of time, there is people out there making money, a lot of money, with handprints on their asses.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
What the fuck has happened? What is going on in this world? What is wrong with this generation?
Yeah.
Like, just get that around your head. It's what, like,
so, like,
where's it going in the next 5 years? That's what I want to wonder.
Yeah. Don't you have anything to do, like, within? So, you know, like, you always hear about these, like, stories. It's like, oh yeah, she quit her job, she became a blogger,
and then traveled the world,
and she travels the world, and like all she does is like post on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there is some loan behind this, right? So, like, you
don't
probably got a loan or something.
You
like,
don't just quit your job, because if I start quitting my job and start traveling, first of all, I need money to buy a ticket.
Yeah,
I have to start somewhere.
Course.
Yeah, and it's usually like a $2,000 ticket to Vietnam or whatever. And second of all, I don't know if our 12 followers, I don't know if we make much money out of that.
Yeah, of course.
But as soon as you add the right hashtags in a different country, then I guess it might work. But a lot of those are sponsored as well, because somebody was explaining, or I was watching some clip, don't ask me where or when, where, you know, she'll travel the world, but there's images, it's some model, a couple, and it comes up occasionally on Facebook, but she'll be lying in a picture, nice on the beach, drinking a sangria or whatever, but in it she's holding a watch.
Oh, yeah,
and because she has like 100,000 followers, that's like directly advertising their thing.
Yeah.
So she probably makes, I don't know, $5,000 just from one post or something like that. But I guess they send her all the stuff that they need to have in it.
But this is the thing, like, I mean,
It's
like,
crazy,
I do
man.
get when they do advertising or something like that, but what I don't get is it's just the weirdness of, like, exactly, like, where are we actually going? Like, what are the...
What's
so, like,
the
you have,
future,
like, a generation of, like, between 20 and 30 who are just doing all of this, and then you have, you know, like, you have, like, I wouldn't say, like, YouTubers, because, like, we are trying to do YouTube also, but it's very weird what the aspiration or the inspiration became for the next generation, because, like, if these kids will see all of this happening, then they'll be like, okay, so I don't actually need to study. I don't actually need to do anything. I will just post, be clever about my hashtags. I might do traveling because, like, that's what people want to see, everything new and all of this stuff. And then I'll be fine for like 10 years, and then whatever, like, something will happen, or, like, I don't know, I'll start to get tattoos. Like, the tattoos is big thing, or I'll be, you know, big thing is like I'll be a chef and I'll get tattoos and all of this, and then I can start to make my own money. Like, I guarantee you, I know people who have been working in restaurants for years. I know people who have been working in, like, good restaurants. None of them are wearing tattoos. None of them say, "Oh yeah, this is a glamorous job," or, like, you will actually have time. You'll actually have time to hang out with your buddies. You will not have time. It's a difficult job.
Yeah.
Like, work in restaurant is one of the toughest jobs that you can choose, because it's not like, oh yeah, I'll have time to serve this dish, like, really nicely as they do it on YouTube. You will not have time.
It's nonsense.
You know, like,
you have
the main chef behind you, standing behind you. You have 12 other orders on your plate to finish with the next 20 minutes. Trust me.
There's no glitz and glamour.
Glamorous. It's not glamorous. It's not, because, like, all of that stuff is just created on YouTube, and, like, all of the social media that people are just,
and they make it look good.
Yeah.
But this is the problem. They don't see the work involved behind all of this. Like, there's people, certain Instagram posts or whatever, they take hours to set up. Yeah. And from the interview that I did earlier with Kevin, he said, like, his videos on average are 7 to 8 minutes long, and then the bigger ones that require more information are on average 12 to 13 minutes. And he goes, a lot of YouTubers make it look easy, but he goes, you don't realize the amount of work that's actually put in. The amount of time. He says he works 6 days a week. I thought, I was kind of under the naive impression. I was like, well, he gets up whenever, he does sleep and get up later and stuff like that. But he says, I work 6 days a week, which is more than most jobs, because I have to get the content out there, because I'm responsible for my own income, my own work. Yeah. So, and these PewDiePie and all those really big YouTubers that are making millions of, but he's putting out 1 or 2 videos a day. He's recording hour after, like, you spend probably 9 or 10 hours recording, and then you forget that editing is involved as well. Okay, our show as a podcast, we only work with an audio format, so that's pretty all right. But when it comes down to the videos that we're recording as well, you realize how much work is actually involved, and we're only doing basic level of editing. So so they don't show you that, and then they never show you that.
The next thing what is starting to happen is that you are starting to hear that people are starting to have, like, committing suicides, like vloggers and all of that. Yeah. Like, they're falling into, like, big, like, deep depressions. Yeah. And the only reason is that, actually, my mic is a bit. Do you hear me? Kind of like, it's not super clear that when I'm actually talking, and I need to be very loud when I speak. And I'm not sure what it is. Try it. Maybe it's me being, like, closer. Yeah, it's a bit better. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was just a gain on yours.
Yeah. So it's much better now. Yeah, and so what they started to say, it's like these kids are falling into, like, big depressions. You know, like, they're committing suicides, and the only reason is that it's hard for them to find the content. So if you want to be a vlogger or a YouTuber, you really have to have a content. But how are you going to find the content all the time? Yeah. Like, let's say, and you might have somebody, you know, stuff might just not be happening. That you can vlog on, or, like, you might not be at some events, or, like, you might not be traveling, and then they feel the pressure that they need to be posting something. So then their following base starts to go lower. Their likes start to go lower, and this is the worst part that can happen for them, because
they have nothing else.
Because they got so used to like the fan base, the amount of likes, probably also the money that they're making out of it. And now suddenly it just starts to go down, but they just cannot realize what is the problem, and the problem is them not being able to make new content. So you really have to be really careful of like what kind of content you are going to
see. The thing is,
like, talk about.
You and me got jobs, so if this doesn't work out in a year's time, or if we decide not to do it anymore or whatever, if it doesn't take off, I can go back to my job. But if I've given up everything, and then after a year everything's been good, I've been getting some sponsorship deals or whatever, but if that goes south and I don't come up with anything material anymore, or the fan base drops, and that means your sponsors drop or whatever, and you got nothing else, and you took a big risk, maybe some loans, maybe you took some time to buy equipment, whatever it is, you're in deep shit. You're in pretty deep shit. I can only assume. I don't know.
On the other hand, our content is like our thoughts, so we're just talking about something.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, as well. Yeah. It's a conversation.
For us, it's a conversation recorded for our lovely followers,
all of you,
for our 180 followers. No, but it's a bit different, because they need to come up with a. So like I wouldn't be able to be a vlogger, because my normal day consists of making my breakfast, going to work, going back, and going to jiu-jitsu or studying, and then that's it. So like there's not a lot that I will be able to vlog. I might be able to. I don't know. Like
I don't know, but like people have vlogged about more boring stuff. I don't know.
Traffic lights. I don't know. Like I might come up with that concept or something. I don't know.
Well, who knows? But yeah, you just need to be aware of the downfalls.
Like what's going on. Lately.
Well. Speaking of
social media
posting, you wanted to. I will keep it to. I would see how long ago. So you, David had texted me saying, "By the way, dude, we need to discuss some of your Facebook posts or whatever." And I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, he found a couple of gems in them." Why? So
you know why? Let me just find the ones that I was just looking at them. Just a couple. Oh yeah. So the first one, this is the normal general one. Summer 2017 is really making an effort to suck more than summer 2016 in Galway.
Now, we're based in Galway in the west of Ireland, okay? And everybody here, once we have a couple of days of sunny weather, everyone gets really optimistic real quick, and they forgot how much it rains here. And so far, I think we've, between May and now, altogether, we've had added up maybe 14 rainless days altogether, right? Yeah. And people tend to forget that, because they're like, no, it's actually a lot better. No, we had a week then, we had a couple of days here, and then today didn't rain, that was nice. Yeah. But people forget very quickly how shit the summer actually was this year, and it's been sucky. Maybe it might be all right for September.
I think like the last good summer was like 2014.
2013. That's the one when we hit 2.5 or 3 weeks of 31 degrees. That was real weather. That was real talk.
It was like... That was 2012 till 2014 was like pretty okay summers.
Mm-hmm. But now
2013 was like really warm, actually.
And that's the problem. True. And people are like, no, it's not that bad. And it's like, no, it is. Like, think about it. Any other European country doesn't have as much rain in that short space of time. Yeah. December was drier. Like last December, because it was weirdly warm. It was like, there was one day when I had a coffee on the 24th, and it was like 13 degrees. I was in shorts out my garden. What the fuck? That might be true. And December and January were drier than June, July, and August put together. But anyway, that explains that, because people are so not to like shit on people's optimism or anything like that, but it's just it's not that great,
Next one. I wonder, did they invent some of these villages and places just so the bus has another place to stop and make my journey longer?
I wanted to get an express bus from an airport, but the express bus had finished going. And the difference between the two... coming back from here. Here.
All right. I get it.
And it's like the express bus takes 1 hour and 10 minutes to Shannon. Yeah. Awesome. Amazing. €9.50, €10, whatever. It's brilliant. But the not express bus takes 2 hours and 20 or 2 hours and 40. That's a phenomenal amount of time for not that long a distance. And I just kept popping into fucking villages where I'm like...
Everywhere.
Did people just build these villages just for this bus?
Yeah.
And do we have to seriously stop at every village in Ireland, somehow squeezed into between Shannon and Galway?
Yeah.
Oh, it drives me crazy, man. Like, sometimes these national bus services, where do these villages come from? I don't know. And why are they stopping there?
It took me... The first Christmas that I came over to Ireland was 5.5 hours or 6 hours from Dublin to Ballyhonus. To Mayo, not to Galway, to Mayo.
Yeah.
We were stopping everywhere. And then had a half an hour or hour in Athlone. I was going to kill myself. I was like, literally, I'm going to walk. I'm going to walk this shit. Like, in Athlone, I was like, fuck
and
this.
You know what? There's no toilets on those buses sometimes. Because they're the national buses.
This one didn't have any toilet.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
None of it.
Yeah.
None. Next one.
Yeah.
Flight attendant offered in-flight magazine is on boarding. I said, no, thank you. I have never been stared at with such contempt.
Yeah, that's right, actually. When I boarded the plane, when I came back from Berlin last week, I got up on the... just, you know the way that they stand inside the door to check your plane ticket again? To tell you it's either on the left or the right. Thank you, by the way, for that glorious information.
I thought that they're checking, but I'm actually going to the right plane. Do they just check the side?
Well, I don't know, but
I
don't know actually. You know, any flight attendants out there, why do they go and check your ticket after it's just been checked?
Yeah, this
3 times.
This is another thing.
So maybe I don't know if it's just like, oh yeah, it's down the aisle and on the left. It's kind of like, oh, well, thanks very much. I know this is from 1 to 30, and there is only left or right. So unless it is actually the very last check to see, because then again, your name on it. But anyway, I got up on the airplane. He was holding out the Ryanair magazine, and he goes, would you like the magazine? And I just kind of looked up at him and waved my head and hand and said, no, thank you. But he stared at me so angry. Like I just kicked him in the nuts and told him, like, I hate his family or something.
Yeah.
He looked at me and then just kind of shoved the magazine a bit closer to me. And I said, no, thank you. And he was just like... I was like, fuck you, I don't want your magazine now. Anyway...
When we talk about you know how you have on the ticket front door or back door of the plane.
Yeah.
So I had a back door in Barcelona, but there was, you know, like how you have the tunnel to the plane. There was only one. So like, what's the point of telling me like whether it's a front door or a door or
just
a back
hop
door?
out. Yeah.
And this one was I was wondering about this for ages, and I actually wondered about the same thing.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Can anybody explain why shoe repairs and key services are intertwined?
Yes.
I didn't read the comments, so I don't know. I still don't know, so you have to...
Somebody, my friend Raphael, is after posting quite a good explanation underneath it. But it did actually always... I find it peculiar. Don't ask me what made me think of it. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea.
Strange. Like,
but like every time you go into a shoe repair shop, there is key cutting. So how did those two ever get together? And that kind of occupied my mind for a little bit.
And what is it? Why is it?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the comment again. But Raphael put a very good description. And basically, it was a consolidation of industries.
Stuck together with most people. Okay, it's too long. Sorry, Raphael.
No problem. But yeah, apparently, it was a consolidation, and
because it was cutting, like too many like services that are not always needed
and used.
At the time, so you just
and once they were in
together.
decline, exactly, and then those are just easy to house together.
Sense. That makes sense. Okay,
but yeah.
Now Berlin stories. Berlin has really turned into a hipster mecca. Do they realize how ridiculous it looks? I wonder. You all look differently the same. Individual expression, my ass. Eat dinner, get a pair of unripped pants that don't fit a 9-year-old girl, and untie the man bun. Then chill.
Okay. In Berlin, in Neukölln and Steglitz and all those kind of things, what used to be, we're known as dodgy places or whatever. a lot of gentrification has happened now because of the extremely low rents over the years, because those were ghetto-sized areas or whatever, or migrant areas.
Yeah.
But due to the exceptionally low rents, then over the last couple of years, once Berlin became more of a hub and more of a working hub and tech hub and all that, a lot of students and travelers and everything started moving into the very low rent areas, which, and of course after the recession and a lot of developers buying up blocks of apartments and all that kind of stuff, but all of that shot the rents up. But what that has invited is there is some ridiculous looking hipster style people floating around, and they look ridiculous. You all look the same. That's not an individual expression at all, because you're all a version of each other. And since when has it become so normal to wear pants so tight? How do you get your feet out the bottom of it? That's what I don't understand. Literally, a tiny girl can wear those pants and they would probably fit her. So it's kind of like, man, wear what you want. Like, I really don't give a shit. Like, do and wear what you want. But don't make it out to be like oh yeah, totally, man. I eat off vinyl, and I only inject the kale into my eyeball because that's how they did it in like 100 years ago. It's retro vintage bullshit, and a lot of those fashions that you have already been around. You're not new, you're not fresh, and you're definitely not anti kind of establishment, because you're all walking around with your iPads and stuff. You're this weird niche, so you're not that individual, because literally you all look the same.
Do you know what is strange? That every time I see a German hipster, right? But like really hipster.
Yeah.
They're German, but they have like English accent. When they speak English, they have like English accent, which is like so weird to me.
Yeah.
It's like
that is a little bit strange.
How much would you? Hey mate, or like they like to be cool, so they start to use like
supremely well spoken.
Where are you from? Where do you live? I'm like in Ireland. Oh yeah, mate. How are you doing, mate? And I'm like,
you're like, shut up.
We don't use it in Ireland anyway.
No.
So like,
we don't.
I actually hate you more when you use it this way. It's crazy. Oh yeah, there was another thing.
And it does work, by the way. We just had it on quiet.
And the thing is, Neukölln is suspiciously quiet.
That was just a day walking through. Me and my dad were sitting down having tea, and it was quiet. Like, usually have an insane mishmash of people and everything, but this time,
it's
nada, absolute nada. It was weirdly.
But it wasn't holiday
quiet.
Or something,
No, I think it was just. It might have been Sunday or something like that. But it was like war broke out or something like that. It was so, because it's a crazy mishmash of people all the time, and it's go.
Yeah.
There it was just like.
Yeah. But do you know what it might be? But we kind of forgot that how it is to have shops closed on Sunday.
Yes,
because like here it's like Sunday.
I keep forgetting
it's
it. It's just a normal business day.
Yeah.
But I keep forgetting that some countries actually close their shops on a Sunday, and then you walk around and you go, "Oh, let's go to the pharmacy." No, closed.
Yeah,
let's go to the shop. Oh no,
to go to
closed.
To a station or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it is. You kind of forget it.
It's kind of like a good concept to do.
And it was holiday time as well.
Yeah.
They all started with their Sommerferien, so that's why they all summer holidays
to Greece.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To another part of Germany, to Greece,
to get that nice leather brown look,
leather brown. Okay,
all
I have one last story.
Oh, go for it.
For Barcelona, right? So we are at the market
in Barcelona.
Yeah. And there's an olive stand, right? And this guy is like, there's like a English family. Guys wearing like blue kind of like tank top. Adidas tank top, and you can see that they're like kind of like like a dodgy area of London. They just got like probably they made like money out of like, I don't know, like social welfare scams or something like that. And he starts to point at like different types of olives, and to me it's like you have black olives and you have green olives. They taste a bit different. You have 15 green ones, 15 black ones, and then the purple ones. And he starts to point at like different ones, and the guy starts to hand it, and he was like, the Spanish guy was just going, he was just like, he told him something Spanish. The guy didn't understand what it was. Yeah. So he gave it to him, tried it. He's like, oh, good, give me 100 grams of that. So he takes it, like he packs it, puts a price tag on it. He's like, hey, what's that? Tests. Hey, give me and he keeps like eating like, and the kids are like, you can see the kids sometimes get slapped. I think from him, because those two boys were like looking at the father like as he was the god, and the wife also. It was like I'm not sure like what kind of family I'm looking here, and the wife was probably like a heavy smoker, because the laugh was like
yeah.
So he keeps trying these like he tried like 5 different types of olives. I'm like freaking out there, because like I hate this type of like English guy. I don't know, like it's very hard to explain how he was. And the Spanish guy goes like, he pulls out a big bucket, like a huge bucket of olives, which was in a kind of like chili sauce, right? And he goes in and he hands over like he hit like multiple ones on the freaking thing, and he's like, hey my friend, try this. And then as he goes in, the guy goes, it's chili, and stands like this. It stops like this. Yeah. As the guy and the wife try to put the chili olives in, and he is like, chili, and I was like this for like 2 minutes. And the guy starts to eat it. They start to choke on those chili olives. We were laughing, like we were standing next to it, with like watching this for like 10 minutes. Yeah. Me and my sister, we were laughing like crazy. We were like, I'm like, this is what you get when you don't know what the fucking olives are, and what is fucking chili, my friend. When you were like, oh yeah, chili, I can try that. And he was like, and the Spanish guy was like, chili. It sounds like this. And starts to laugh. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous scene that I've ever seen in my life.
You should have recorded it.
I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here, Laura. Crazy.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Chili.
It's chili.
Chili.
Well, dude, cool. We did our very first live recorded episode. No edits, no cuts.
Hopefully you heard it.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah, we cannot use the gun thing, because it will break our violence,
the system.
Thing. Acceptance terms and conditions.
Exactly. Well, folks, thank you very much for listening in for another fabulous, fantastic episode. Your ear holes got educated through our information. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, well, thank you very much again. Good evening and good night. And listen out for more episodes, interviews, and a whole lot of good stuff coming.
Cool. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you.
Ciao.
You managed to listen to the rumboyz talk on Random Urban Memories. Just like and subscribe where you can on all platforms.